yeah, so I was like asleep the other morning, as is my wont, and then like just like it was like 7:30 in the morning or whatever on like a Saturday, and then my door just was like just smashed open,
Really?
as if like yeah, like it just like it was like when a SWAT team just barges through and it's just, but I'm asleep. So then I wake up and I come out and there's just two paramedics just like in my, just in the room.
That's incredible. Two paramedics kicked down your door on a Saturday morning and woke
Yeah.
you up and were standing in your living room.
Yeah. And they said, oh, you're not a 94-year-old man.
They were
Um,
annoyed.
well, yeah, I think they were expecting a 94-year-old man who, I don't know. I can't hazard a guess what was going. I mean, they would, yeah. They just were literally like, you're not, like they were surprised, and then they said, yeah, you'll probably have to fix your door, and then they just left.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's the craziest way to start a Saturday there is.
it
Anyone
well
kicking in your door.
I just it was crazy as hell, but like I was so sleepy because it was like 7 or whatever that I just went back to sleep straight away as well. Like as crazy as it was, it just shows how easy it is to sleep in. You know what I mean? When you get up too early. Like I could
Right.
just immediately go back to sleep after that.
Right. So that's your
Just,
takeaway. Paramedics kicking
that's
your
what
door. It's remarkable that you could just still go back. You're like, oh, well.
yeah, well, the door's broken. And yeah, it was insane. They like, cause you know, I was thinking, should I like is complain about it? Like,
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. It's interesting that they said you'll have to pay for the door. They didn't offer you any kind of way out there, like, oh, contact this person, they can reimburse you for the door, or no, just
no, it
you
was
pay
almost like
for it.
I was a casualty of their frontline work. Like I'm just a kind of collateral damage in the hero's work.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, in Batman where he like just will come through and fucking ruin a whole bunch of apartments. Like he'll just, when he'll just
Yeah.
fly through and fuck people's shit up.
No one's
So you come
thinking,
home, Batman's.
no one ever thinks of the guy who's living in the apartment when Batman smashes, he's fighting the Joker or whatever, and he smashes through a window. They kick down all the doors. They smash up the apartment.
Yeah.
And there's some goofy guy gets up and goes, oh, in a singlet or whatever. There's normally the comedic relief or whatever of the guy going, oh, did you see that, sweetheart? No one ever goes like, he might be on welfare because you're struggling and now you've got to fix a door.
Yeah, when I'm watching a movie now, it's changed it because I'm like, yeah, fuck. They better fucking like leave some details. Do you know what I mean?
Batman
Like
should leave
Batman or whatever.
details.
Like, well, like that's the thing, because then there's the other thing, because they're heroes, right? They are actual heroes, and they are like the soldiers in this fight against the virus. Like they are. It's like Dunkirk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if a war hero takes a shit on your rug, do you send them an invoice for it? Or, you know what I mean?
Or do you cop it on the chin?
Yeah, is your job as a citizen in a war to just be like, oh, yep, yeah, war heroes can do that.
So if a war hero was fighting Nazis out of your apartment building and one of them rushed in because he's got diarrhea because he's been fighting on the front line, and he rushes in and takes a diarrhea shit on your new carpet from IKEA, and then goes, sorry, you'll have to pay for that, and rushes out to continue the fight to save lives and to exterminate this virus of the Nazis, in this analogy, you just go, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. No worries.
My bit as a, yeah.
I would argue you've got no choice because of the hero collateral. What's the hero?
Hero credit.
Hero credit. There's too much hero credit for
he's
a
got
paramedic.
hero. Those paramedics have probably been putting intubators into people's they've been dealing with people who have COVID and they have to come in and risk their lives to like put an inch. Do you know what I mean? When they have to like get them into the like that's dangerous as hell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Getting like someone with COVID. Like, imagine someone rang you today and was like, "Yeah, mate, I've got like one of my mate's got COVID. Do you want to come over and help get him into a stretcher?" I'd be like, "No, I don't think I can help with that."
Exactly.
Like even with the mask.
Exactly. No, I don't think anyone's disputing their hero credit is deserved. It's deserved.
Except for me. Yeah.
Except for you, who's had his door kicked in. But
Well, I just think some of these frontline workers are getting a bit cocky. You know what I mean? Like maybe they kicked in the door for a laugh, and they know. When you go to Woolworths now, and you're like, "Hey, do you know where the margarine is?" And they're like, "Fuck off," and you're like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, fuck."
Well, they've got credit to burn. That's
the thing.
That's the thing. So they can kick indoors. It probably was a laugh. I mean, is there really a 94-year-old?
She was smiling. She was smiling.
You know what I say?
You have to get it fixed. You have to get a door fixed. Looks like she thought it was funny that she'd broken it.
Right.
And
Right.
I didn't think it was funny, but I laughed because she's a hero, and that's how you show gratitude to people. I mean, this is a war that's fought by like 100 people risking their lives by putting people on ventilators and stuff, and the rest of the people getting Uber Eats.
Right. And you fall very squarely in the Uber Eats. You're nowhere near you're way away from the hero part of this.
But I would argue by not complaining, I have gained. That could be my contribution, is not creating a bureaucratic quagmire about the door that could shift resources from, do you know what I mean? If they have to call the paramedic in and go, "Why'd you break in the door?" That could waste valuable time that could be used for,
I think it suits. Yeah. And also I think I want to see you do that phone call. Hello. Yeah. No, just put me through to the paramedics. Yeah, they're quite busy right now. There's sort of, we've spread them out to deal with no, I just, there's a scuff on the door. Yeah. They came in to try and save someone's life and they damaged my door a bit. Yeah. We're really busy here. We've just, what do you need help? No. It's just, it'd be nice if they could,
Yeah. Could you, is this, because also I did flirt with calling 000 to complain because technically it was a break and enter. What happened?
So you're going to call 000 and hope that they could just flick a switch to the ambulance section and the police section and join the dots? Hey, yeah, police. Yeah, we're just going to put you through to the ambulance because the ambulance just did a break and enter for the police to deal with. Put them on a conference call.
You put me onto the police, because don't put me onto the ambulance, because this is actually about what the ambulance did to me. So if you could put me onto the police, because I don't want to talk to the ambulance.
And while you're there, you'll have to get the fire brigade out to help fix the door. Get the fire brigade out. Put them all on a conference call. Me, Dan Rath, the police, the fire department, and the ambulance, and they can work out who's going to come out here and fix this mess. Tie up as many resources as you can.
As much emergency resources. During the bushfire, I call the fire department and tell them, like, I'm like, "What's going on with the smoke? Can you just, I needed a fuser."
Yeah.
You call emergency.
Yeah, having trouble breathing at the moment. What's going on?
They're like, got a hose. They're like trying to, they got the phone, but they got the hose at the same.
Yeah.
They're like, "Fuck, what that?" You're like, "Yeah, well, the smoke's coming and it's my Uber Eats order. It smells it's a bit smoky. I was trying to eat an enchilada. It's a bit toasty."
Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the smoke, but I didn't ask for it smoked. And I don't know, I feel uncomfortable. They're like, "Yeah, we're dealing with a wall of fire right now that's killing hundreds of people."
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels a bit wrong to complain, like to use like a bureaucratic channel.
So you're saying your contribution to society right now is not filing a complaint against a paramedic who was trying to save someone else's life?
Yeah, potentially could be used as sort of evidence.
You're choosing not to be annoying to paramedics.
Yeah, I'm making a very difficult decision to not be annoying about a door. You know what I mean? Like it's difficult to not make the annoying decision about, like, because it's sort of like if anyone else did it, you'd be pissed off, right?
Yeah, if a stranger kicked in my door and said, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were a 94-year-old man," and then walked away, you'd said, "You'll have to pay for the door." I think, yeah, I mean, absolutely, but it is
You'd
different.
make another phone call shortly after that, I think.
Yeah,
about him.
no, that would be fine. But it's
And
like
I
you
mean,
say,
I'd be scared about what was going to happen to the 94-year-old man too.
yeah, you'd make a call, but it's like the Batman analogy. If Batman rumbles through your fucking lounge room having a fight with the Joker, you don't expect him to pay for the vase.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, I used to just, when I'd watch those scenes, I'd empathize with the guy's living room getting trashed. You know, I'd be like, fuck, I'd be having a word to Commissioner Gordon about this.
It's so pathetic. I love it. Such a pathetic man. Batman come through here and fucking knocked over all this shit. My wife's hysterical. What are you going to do about that, Gordon?
Is there some kind of just sort of Batman ombudsman? I mean, I don't really agree with his just unrestrained heroism.
Every time you see the bat sign in the sky, it gives you like post-traumatic stress because you're worried he's going to come in through and knock over another wardrobe and leave a scuff mark.
Yeah, you see the Batman symbol, or you can see his property damage.
Yeah.
You're just like, property damage, not good.
You'd have to be sending emails to your landlord. Look, the Batman symbol's out tonight, and I'm a bit worried there might be some property damage.
Yeah, is this Ray White? I think Batman is out and about again. But yeah, and the other thing is, like, it would suck because you'd be at cocktail parties or whatever, and people would be sort of talking up Batman all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, Batman's fucking amazing. You know, he killed Bane, and, you know, Joker was trying to get up to his old tricks, but Batman, of course, beat him to it. You know, and then you'd be like, yeah, well, TV's not got a dint in it because, yeah, he was too reckless over at mine, so...
Yeah, they're all like, thank God for Batman, thank God. You're like, yeah, he was a bit reckless over at mine, I got to say. A little bit over at mine. He was a bit...
You have to say...
He was a little bit reckless with the property.
He's a bit out of order, and everyone just goes, fuck off, you worm.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the same as you going to a cocktail party tonight and going, you know what, God bless the paramedics, they are doing it the toughest, but could be a little bit better with the door opening.
Did leave a scuff on the door, and I just wonder if they're being unfairly lionized as heroes when the property damage is being just ignored in the media.
Silence.
Any sympathy for this platform? No. And the other thing is, like, it's much better to be friends with, like, that's why being friends with a hero would be dangerous.
Right.
Because say if they ripped you off or something, like say you're friends with a war hero or something, they rip you off. Now you're complaining, trying to get people on your side. Do you know what I mean? Going like, man, he fucking ripped me off. Like, people are just going to be like, man, fuck, what?
Just leave him alone.
Hero, dude.
He's done
leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's much better to be friends with a pariah.
That's right.
Like,
because you always feel better about yourself. And if they damage your property, everyone believes you.
Yeah. You're like, fuck, man, he was over here. He smashed a bunch of glasses. He's a fucking mess. And, like, I think I'm going to have to cut him loose. That's
everyone will be like, good.
Good.
But say that about a paramedic and it's like, you're the bad guy.
You're the bad guy.
I find spam these days extremely convincing. Like I get Instagram messages occasionally, like a beautiful woman in a bikini, like XXX, fuck, please, my free pics, click here. And there is a huge part of me that just so badly wants it to be a real person. Like that I just I get why people click on them.
Yeah, it's not just, oh, you got spammed kind of thing. It's like you understand why someone, like, it's like we were saying when, you know, like you see one of your friends on Facebook pop up with like Oatly sunglasses ads. Please buy amazing sunglasses.
Yeah, and
Dave.
it's spammed on every one of their friends' walls, and they've clearly been hacked because they've clicked on the link from the woman called Nastasha or whatever. That's like triple X porn, suck, fuck, pics, want to fuck now? Question mark link, and he's like, well, there's a tiny part of you that just knows it's not real, but just the hope, just to click, just
because there's a chance. There is a chance there's a
there's a
real person
tiny
called X
chance.
Nastasha just suck big XX around the corner. Like there is a chance that person's real.
Yeah,
It's not a non-zero probability.
there is a tiny chance that because I kind of just want to respond. Like I have this part of me that's kind of wants to just message back and go, hey, that's pretty okay. That's a bit crazy. What are you doing? You want to get brunch first? Or kind of, you want to take it slow a little bit? Like try and spark up a regular conversation?
It's funny for you to take it from like volume 100 down to like 7.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, big, mega, come, slut. And then you're like, yeah, do you like single origin beans or what? Like to take it down in magnitude? Like,
Yeah.
I like brunch and margaritas mostly, but.
What are you up to? Do you live in Sydney? Yeah.
Yeah.
MILF's looking to fuck within 100-meter radius. So, like, are you also in Barton or Paddington area in Brisbane, or whereabouts are you?
How's COVID affected your work? Are you working from home?
Isn't it the ultimate embarrassment to get hacked? Like, it's funny because I had one recently where a teacher of a physical theater company, like super serious, and she sends out emails to the group that are like really profound, deep, poetic passages and inspirational and stuff for performing artists. And she obviously got clicked on the double butt fuck now link. Like that's the place you shoot, because she just sent out emails repeatedly like, click here, sunglasses now, super, like her last email was like, as Shakespeare once said, thou art nature is our goddess. And the next email is like, double butt fuck sluts, click here now. From the same, you just know that she's clicked on something she shouldn't. It's like the ultimate.
Yeah, it's totally. It's like you're just seeing both sides of the personality. That's like the Shakespearean method reveals the inner monologue that is often under the surface, masked by an exterior that is a veneer that then reveals these true kernels, the kernel of the traumatic real. And then, like, she sent that email, and then the next one's like, big dick coming out at you from beyond 7,000 Bitcoin now. You click here. It's just click. But it's like in the same brain, like.
Yeah. She's gone on the $1 million, 3 million Bitcoins now into your account. She's clicked on that as well between reading Shakespeare.
I love those ones where, because I get tempted to click on them too. Like I saw one, it was like, because it used my name as well. They get smart too. They're like, dear Dan, I've got your 1 million Bitcoin. Just click here. You've actually received it from here. And you do, like I do hover over it for a bit. So like I don't laugh at these people as if they're, like when I see the guy with the Oakley ads all over his social media thing, I understand.
Yeah. You hover a bit when it's like, dear Damien, times are tough, aren't they? Something's come up where $3 million worth of cash can be deposited into your account immediately.
Yeah. I guess if I got scammed, I would like try and keep it on the down low though. Cause like when you see someone like on a current affairs, like I lost everything because I clicked on a 10,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like 100 dicks around the corner ad. And like, like I'd just be like, oh shit, I've lost all my super, and then just keep it a secret.
Yeah, well, that's the humiliation of getting done, is that if it's social media or email chain, like the physical theater teacher, then everybody knows about it. That's the horror. If you can do it in a way where you it's only you who gets fucked over and it isn't spam to all your mates. 'Cause that's just the ultimate humiliation. Like, to me, it's just like, this person's definitely been on a porn site and clicked the 1,000 MILFs looking to fuck around 50 on your street now, Damien Power at Barden, Intrapilli. You know, like, that's where you go.
Yeah.
It may not be
Yeah.
true, but you assume they've been on a pornography site. It's embarrassing.
It's like if you have a friend who's just sent a picture of a dog to everyone on their contact list, you're like, yeah, probably clicked on a Bitcoin ad. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, you don't just send a dog to everyone, like going, have you seen Ralph?
Yeah.
And it's all like weird, like Russian letters in it and stuff. You're like, I don't think that doesn't sound like John.
I always feel so bad for the Oakley guys. You know, the sunglass ads were really common, that I always comment like, oh yeah, man, sounds interesting. Like, I try to make out, almost like help them a bit, like kind of go, oh yeah, this is Dave. Dave is actually looking to get rid of some sunglasses immediately at 50% off, delivery free. You know?
There's a part of you that's like, yeah, Dave's got into sunglasses, I guess, and good
Yeah.
for him. Like, was looking for a side hustle.
Because I feel so bad for him. I'm kind of like, yeah, man, DM me, dude. DM me, bro. Not like, hey, man, did you also click on that double butt fuck sluts now? Barrage of cum sluts.
They're all in the junk folder. If you're in your email, you can just choose to not, because those emails come in like, you know, all the ones like, hello,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
come. Like, you choose to see them.
Yeah, if you go in your junk folder, it's like, woof, there's a whole nother world out there, right? It's like this crazy. No wonder they get into junk. It's not a hard algorithm. It's like, if it has triple X or a $sign in it, put it to junk.
Yeah, but
Because
then that means you actually miss genuine invoices and stuff as well, I find. Like,
there's lots of comedy promoters that are like, double butt fuck sluts, dollar, Fideli invoice. And then like there are actually some seriously mentally ill
comedy club
perverted comedy producers. Comedy club now. It's actually kind of similar advertising. To say like, see Tom Gleason live, triple X, fuck yeah, $sign cheap. Like, I'm saying like it's a similar language and syntax.
Hog's breath, surf and turf, big booty, XXX comedy now. And
exactly.
But then you don't know you're on, because it's got you on the thing, and you're like, I didn't know I was on with XXX double fuck Tom Gleason shit. Like,
it went to junk.
I mean? So you can miss.
It went to junk.
But then you go in there, like I clicked it on the other day, and I was like, I didn't know I was in love with so many different people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, we've been together for 4 years, and now it's like, it's weird stuff.
They try everything, don't they?
I just wonder, are they real? Like, are people creating bots, or are bots sort of like these weird algorithmic space junk out in like cyberspace that kind of just coalesce randomly and become these sort of almost sentient, like, but not sentient, but like just sending out things that don't have a human correspondent. Do you know what I mean?
You think that they're generating emails that seem human based on the things that they've hoovered up off the internet to sort of communicate in the way that they think we communicate?
Yeah, it's almost like, I'm like, is there even a human being associated with this particular thing? Like, it almost just seems so weird.
Yeah.
That it seems like it's almost just been spontaneously generated in cyberspace. Like, it's not a human agent.
Yeah, it could be AI, just like programmed to create what it thinks we want to hear, which is double butt fuck slut, like $sign, come now.
Right.
Asia.
It's all
like, it's just all the keywords.
Just all put together. Because, I just don't think a human would create something so inelegant. You know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't seem like human language. You know, one of the things with COVID advertising and stuff, I've noticed, one of the things I was thinking about is how corporations are trying to fill this moral void in our culture. Like we have no
Yeah.
central, like the church, no one goes to church anymore. You know, like no one really, like the idea that God is dead, even people that believe in God, I think sort of don't. Like I don't, like if you go up to a priest and go, is God real? They're going to go like, no, of course not. It's just, you know, Christmas is good for the economy. And, you know, like they don't, no one goes to church anymore. So there's this moral vacuum that's
Yeah,
filled
it's like
by,
Hillsong's the only ones.
yeah, there's people still religious, but there's a moral vacuum in our society that corporations are trying to fill. And I find it really unnerving. And what I mean is like, say Nike and their ads, like that crazy pro-diversity ads they have now. They're trying to preach like, it's weird to have corporations now going like unity, diversity, kindness. Like they just had an ad come out and they've got like a black dude kicking a soccer ball. Then it cuts to like a white guy kicking the same ball. Then it cuts to like, this is absurd diversity, like a gay man holding hands with a black, you know, straight guy. And then like there's a lesbian Muslim with a pushing a disabled Jew on a soccer field, like trying to get as much like this absurd idealized sort of diversity that everyone is so into now. They're trying to capitalize on it. They've got like a fucking, you know, like a gay guy holding hands with a white supremacist looking at shoes or whatever, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's just this weird, like, utopian thing where it's all just everyone wants to buy Nike.
Yeah, everyone.
From the worst white supremacists to like, you know, Muslims want to get it, gay people, like everyone, just because I guess like they want everyone to buy their sneakers too, like maximize.
It's tapping into the zeitgeist, right? Because like they're using their shoes as a way of going like, we represent global unity, peace, prosperity, kindness, and diversity, which used to be the job of the church. But it just distracts from the fact that they're obviously only out to make more money and to distract from the fact they have a history of child exploitation, just like the Catholic Church.
Yeah, so that should put them in good stead for being a moral. I mean, they've got the same resume.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. At least the church's slogans are meaningful and deep. Like turn the other cheek and love thy neighbor. And there's all these profound stories in the Bible that are metaphors for human consciousness and morality. And it's not like corporate slogans that are like, just do it because you're worth it. You know, it's Mac time. Just meaningless shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Eat fresh. That's my favorite one. Eat fresh, like it's to distract you from how stale it is, really.
It's meaningless shit. Like you look at Jesus on the cross, Father, Father, you have forsaken me. People have literally studied that since the beginning of time to try and understand what the metaphor and the relationship of God and people and be different. Imagine if he was on the cross like, maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah. Because the other guy was asking about his skin regime. You know, the other guy that got done for robbing a pensioner or whatever. He's like, yeah, well, how do you get your skin so good when you're all done up like that? Maybe it's Maybelline. You know?
Yeah. Doesn't mean anything. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that Coke's one?
Yeah, just enjoy.
Coke's slogan is enjoy. Which I think is that's probably one of the best ones because like it's just enjoy, and you will enjoy it.
It's not a very profound slogan, is it?
No, it's yeah. What are some of the other slogans that companies have?
Maybe the Catholic Church or Christianity would have done better if they got behind some big public figures like LeBron James or Michael Jordan. You know, like maybe that's what they
Right.
needed because they're you know, they need like a better public figure these days, I think.
Yeah, because who they've got at the moment, they Benedict, is it Benedict
The Pope.
Cumberbatch? Yeah,
Oh,
Benedict.
is he one? A Christian?
I don't know. I just forgot the Pope's name. If it's Pope Benedict,
Oh,
the
Pope
one
Benedict, yeah.
he was considered cool, wasn't he, for a bit?
Yeah, he was
Sort
kind
of.
of quite a progressive pope. But then you get like someone like Mel Gibson, who doesn't quite
Yeah,
do them, you know, the service they deserve probably.
he's sort of a trad cath, isn't he? Like he's into like the whipping stuff. Like he thinks Mel Gibson thinks that the current church is too modern.
Mm.
He's in that camp, which I like the idea that he's like going, this Catholic Church too modern with their gadgets. Like I like it when there was all Latin and they would whip the priests. You know, like he's sort of.
Yeah,
It's funny for him. That's his version of like someone going, "What's that? Everyone's on their iPhone." His version of that is
right.
like, "What are they doing? Doing it in English? Fucking heathens!"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like those guys are cool. The ones that want to go back to
Yeah.
before the 40s.
I kind of respect those religious people more in a way because they're not trying to be the postmodern religious figure, which is like basically I want to live whatever life I want, have sex, do drugs, drink, have tattoos, do everything that the Bible says, make lots of money, get rich, have a private jet, but still also be Christian and go to heaven. Whereas the
Yeah, yeah,
traditional
yeah.
guys are like, I want nothing. I'll live in a cave. I'll whip myself in the morning, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I mean, yeah, I like that because Hillsong is like literally like, it's like run a company, like run a Fortune 500 company and just like embrace capitalism to its full
Yeah,
potential, like
yeah,
prosperity Christianity. And there's just something so creepy about prosperity Christianity when it's like the mega church vibe.
yeah, yeah.
Because
I went to one once.
yeah,
Like, just was just fascinated by it. I went to a Hillsong thing and sat in there, and they just kept passing around like your and put in your bank details, and then they pass around these cards to put on your bank details and shit.
oh, that's
And
next level. So you put your BSB and stuff in.
yeah, they wanted
Yeah.
they wanted your financial details, and they like kept talking about the guys would just like get up there and they'd sing. It was always weirdly erotic towards Jesus. There's a strange eroticism towards Jesus, like he's there with you, he touches you, he's inside you, let him around you, let him hold you, you touch Jesus. It's like this weird chanting, homoerotic sort of strange sexual. And then the singers would sing a song that was very repetitive and simple, and then would go like, I'll give 50% of my money to the church. And then the main dude got up and he sort of whinged about ANZ Bank and shit. Like one of the bank he was with. He's like, oh, they're bloody doing us wrong. We've got a lot of money tied up with them and the bloody bank's charging too much interest and it's not right and too many fees. It's really
That's
strange.
that's that's interesting because Jesus like hated bankers, but he kind of like this guy doesn't sound like he hates bank. It's like he wants to be a banker, but they're ripping him off because
Yeah.
he's trying to make it more money than them.
Oh,
And
there's a passage in the Bible where Jesus whips bankers.
yeah,
The cleansing of the temple, where he runs them out of the temple for doing business there and literally whips them. No one ever talks about that bit.
yeah, that's like I think Hillsong would want to get that bit taken out because it's
Yeah, totally.
like, can we get
It's
that bit taken out? That bit's not real. It's subject to revision.
for me, if Jesus was all about peace and love, and the only time he ever used violence should be the whole main focus of the Bible. Like, if you're going to be fundamentalist, whip bankers, go down Wall Street and fucking whip them, and just say you're practicing your faith.
Yeah,
You know,
I would.
shouldn't be a
That would
crucifix,
be
should be a whip, like Indiana Jones.
Well, that's why I like Islam, because they don't charge interest. They believe that it's halal. Sorry, no, not halal, harem.
Harem.
Harem, which is a good word for no, please don't.
Harem. Harem and halal.
Yeah, like halal's good. So I mucked that up. But yeah, that it's like haram to charge interest because
Yeah.
you're making money without labor.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good one.
And then, yeah, it just seems there's like a nice kind of nobility to it. Like that you can't get charged interest. You know what I
I
mean? Because
like
it's
it.
just such a chicken shit fee. You know, when your bank just charges you interest, it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think
You know,
it's,
when
yeah, they're just
being
making
overcharged.
money without money. They contribute nothing. And Christians should rise up and follow the literal interpretation of the Bible, which is that you shouldn't have lots of money and that you should whip bankers. Makes total sense to me.
Well, yeah, and I mean, having said that, I mean, just the thing with atheism that's so uh, like a thing with it now because it's so dominant. Like atheism is like the dominant paradigm now. Like it weirdly has become like almost a corporate um, dominant thing. Like all these corporations would be atheistic, and like the whole everyone's an atheist that you meet now,
Mm,
so
mm.
that it loses its countercultural potential or whatever that it used to have.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
like in the 90s and the 2000s, like, oh, it's an atheist. That's crazy. Really? You're an atheist? Like it almost had a bit more of a hushed, like, oh, that's crazy. That's a bit rebellious.
Yeah, now it's almost the
But now,
opposite. It's like, oh, you're a Christian?
yeah, you're a Christian. Oh, that's cool, man. Do you like you must run a microbrewery, you know, if you're a Christian, because it's so cool.
It's funny how
Do you
postmodern
know what I mean? It's
Christianity
almost more.
has, like, what are the tenets of postmodern Christianity? Do whatever you want, but also just go to heaven at the end. Like, it doesn't seem to be any rules.
What's that postmodern Christianity?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be any, like, it just seems like they just do whatever they want. Doesn't seem very strict, postmodern Christianity.
Do you mean the Hillsong one or the
Yeah,
new?
yeah. Like, I just mean like the new hip ones.
Well, I think there's like two forms of new hip ones, like because there's Hillsong, which is like yeah, baba, like Scott Morrison and all that, which is weird. I mean that he's part of that, like because when I think of Hillsong, I think of a guy with a mohawk and a skateboard that thinks Harry Potter should be banned.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like some straight edge guy with a tattoo that's like Harry Potter should be banned, but he still looks cool and he's got like a weird sort of hoop earring.
Yeah. Yeah, the hip cool Christians.
You know those guys? Like a
Yeah.
hoop earring, but they're radical. But then I'm like, it's so funny that Scott Morrison, who's just this like weird dork, who's in his 50s, is hanging out with these guys with hoop earrings and shit, just going, Harry Potter is the devil, and Scott Morrison's just there looking like shit, like with like a hot tuna shirt.
Yeah.
Like what a
It's
weird
it's so weird to think of the leader of
culture
your
for him to
country.
join. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So weird to think of the leader of your country like swaying with a crowd of hip, cool young Christians going, God is here, God is love, and all this shit. And he's the leader of the whole country.
Don't they play like clubbing music and trance and stuff like that? Like they
Yeah,
get a
when I went to
DJ in,
that
don't they?
church, there was
Like a
like
rad.
dance music and like lasers and like special effects and HD cameras projecting everything live onto big
Just funny
screens.
that Scott Morrison's there with his like Bunnings hat, just like going, yeah, fucking yeah, let's fucking do it. You know, like, and there's all these guys with hoop earrings going, Harry Potter's the devil, fuck yeah, like just like it's like the rave out of Blade. Remember the
Yeah.
start of Blade? There's all these like they release blood out of the vents and stuff.
That's the strangest. That's the strangest thing to compare. Yeah, you're talking about a '90s movie with Wesley Snipes where he's a vampire killer and he goes into a club, and in the nightclub everyone's like, doof, 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 and there's lights and they spray blood. They spray blood over everyone in the nightclub, and you're saying that's similar to Hillsong.
that's similar to Hillsong, and Scott Morrison's there and their hoop earrings like, yeah, we speak in tongues. And then Scott Morrison, there's like foam. They have like a foam thing and they release foam. And it's like weird that then he's got like a meeting about like geopolitics in the South China Sea penciled in between Jesus walks, like just a weird.
It is very strange. I totally agree
schedule.
with you. It is strange, and it is like a party thing. You go to these churches, man. It's not. It's for fun. Like they're like boom, boom, boom. They're like dancing. It's like yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And he's there in a really bad Hawaiian shirt, like hanging out with all these young, like hip Christians.